I'm so excited to be here. This is such a great song. We're going to be using a lot of open chords in this song, which is great. We've got an A major chord, a G major chord, a D major chord, and an E major chord, all right? So all major chords in this, and there is a B minor chord that does pop up in our choruses, but if you need an easier version, you could use the easier version that I'll put up over here. So this song has a lot of cool strumming. It's super peppy and has a really, really nice intro. I'm going to put this song a little bit more on the intermediate level just because of the speed at which we're going and the different chord progressions and strumming patterns that we're going to use. But fortunately for you guys, we're going to go through it step by step, part by part. So let's start off with our intro. Now we're going to talk about the chords. So really there's two guitars playing in this intro, and that's super cool. I love when you got two guitars laying over each other like that. So one guitar is just playing an A chord. Kind of doing that boom chuck sound. So we're playing the bass note of the A and then strumming the rest of the chord. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. Now the other guitars are going to be playing that cool intro that I'm going to show you later in the video because it's very detailed. I just want to get through all the chords and the strumming right now. So right after that, we're going to play that for 6 measures. And then after that, we've got this really cool. So the timing on that is an A chord. It's 1 and then 2, there's nothing. There's a little bit of a space. And then we're going over to a G chord. It's going to be 3 and a 4 and a. So down, down, up on the G, down, down, up on the D. So all together it's going to sound like this. Okay, so that's what we're going to say. And you're going to do that twice. So there's 2 measures. So this whole intro essentially is 8 measures long. 6 of it is the guitar just doing this part. And then we have 2 measures of. And this part's going to be important because it does come back into the song later after some of our other verses. So speaking of verses and choruses, let's talk about the strumming pattern that I'm going to use for the rest of the song. And when I play songs like this, just because there's so much energy behind them, sometimes there is improvisation. And if you listen to an album or you go watch an artist perform live, especially when you're singing and playing at the same time, sometimes my hand just does what it wants. But the rhythm in general that I think works really well for the entirety of this song, other than those breakout parts that I just showed you, is 1, 2, and 4 and, okay? So it's down, down, up, okay? So let's talk about that first line of the verse. So we had that rhythm, 1, 2, up, down, down, up, down, up. So we have a full measure of A, and then we have 2 split measures, a G and a D. And I would just do down, down, up for each of those. So it's 1, 2, a 4, and 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, 2, a 4, and down, down, up, down, down, up. All right, so that's how we're going to take our verse. And the chord progression changes up a bit. If you want to follow along with the chord progressions, you can go check them out over on my website there. But basically, we've got A, G, and D splitting a measure, and we're going to do that 3 times. Then we have double A, double D, double C, double D, double C, and then 4 E's on the end. So we got this really, really long chord progression in this song. And don't worry, I will do a full playthrough at the end. I just want to go through all the parts individually, step by step, okay? Because that's kind of my process, is I break things down and make them as simple as possible, and then we put them all together in the end. So the chorus, we're not going to change the strumming pattern at all, and there's no split measures on the chorus. So the chorus, we've got double A, G, D, double A, G, D, B minor twice, and then E, E. And at the end of the choruses, we go back to that intro. So let me just play through this one time for you guys to hear it. So it's going to be down, down, up, G, D minor. Okay, so you can see right after that chorus, we're going back into an intro, and then we've got another verse and another chorus. Now after the final chorus, we have that little impromptu strumming from the intro, and we do have a solo, and all that the solo section is, it's the chord progression from the verses. So we're just gonna play that same strumming pattern over the chord progression for the verse. Nothing is really changing there. The only thing that's kind of different on the next chorus is that we only do that impromptu rhythm one time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through this song top to bottom, and there's a little bit on the outro. Let's talk about that real quick. Before I get into playing the whole song, I want to go over this outro part because remember there's two guitars in the song. So I would probably finger pick, but if you're strumming, you're probably going to have a pick in your hands. I'm going to show you how you can do this both ways, especially if you're playing with someone else. It's cool. So I would just do a 16th note pattern, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 16th notes. And when you listen to it, it's a lot of picking, and they're just picking arpeggios. Now, what an arpeggio is you're just playing individual notes. So when you strum a chord, you play all the notes at the same time. Arpeggios are... All right, and I'm almost doing somewhat of like a Travis picking. If you guys want to learn more about Travis picking, I have a link up there. But I'm really not doing any particular pattern. I'm just making sure I'm kind of going between my thumb and either my first and second finger or my third finger. I just keep doing that alternating pattern. So, you know, I'm just going to goof off a little bit, but you can play with this. Feel free to experiment. So, you know, keep falling in and out of love with you. In and out of love with you. So as long as you're picking something and you're kind of doing the 16 note pattern and you're in timing, you can do whatever you want. And that's what I love about covering music, because you can really make it your own. I know there's a lot of people who give me crap on my channel because they're like, you didn't do it exactly the way they did it. And it's like, who cares? We're having fun, right? We want to have fun. That's the bottom line. So with the pick, this is what I would do. It'd sound like this. It'd be get a bass note, and then I would strum the high strings. And I would do probably 8 notes, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4. We got a D minor that comes in here at the end. And I would just strum that on the end. So if this is your first time going through the song, I would highly recommend that you just play through the first time and listen to really what I'm doing from part to part, because the song is speedy. If you need to slow things down, you can always adjust the settings cog down there to slow it down and play along with me. Now in this playthrough, I'm just going to be doing the chords and the strumming section. If you want to learn the more intricate intro and how to play that, I'll teach you how to do that after the play along. 3, 4, 5, 6, let's go. Ready? I can see why you think you belong to me. I never tried to make you think or let you see one thing for yourself. But now you're off with someone else and I'm alone. You see, I thought that I might keep you for my own. while, maybe longer if I do. Solo. What you want, you had your way. All the things you thought before just faded into gray. And can't you see that I don't know if it's you or if it's me? If it's one of us, I'm sure we both see. Double chorus, ready? Amie, what you wanna do? Falling in and out of love with you. Don't know what I'm gonna do. Falling in and out of love with you. Well, that was a lot of fun, and if you guys are ready, I'm gonna get into this intro. I'm just gonna play it through real slowly so you can hear what it sounds like. Now I know what you guys are saying, Lauren, that's slow. Well, it's slower than the actual full speed of the song, but we're gonna go through this step by step. Don't you worry, that's my job. My job is to make it simple as possible and make it make sense for you so that you can have fun with it. So a lot of this is just basically guitar skills. We've got hammer-ons, we got pull-offs, we got some slides, and a lot of it is between the 7th, the 9th, and the 11th frets. Okay, so there's not a lot of movement, so that's a good thing. The tricky part is just all the slides and the hammer-ons that come in and as fast as this goes. But let's start off, let's just take it one line at a time. Let's start with the first phrase. So we're gonna start on the A string and we're gonna go 7, hammer to 9. So we're mostly, for this entire thing, we're gonna be using our first and third fingers. There's only one note we're gonna use our second finger for, and I'll let you know when that comes up. So we've got 7, hammer to 9, and then we're coming down to the D string, 7, 7. Okay, so we've got very common lick, very common, shows up a lot. Now we've got the 9th fret down, but I'm not lifting my first finger. That first finger is gonna stay there because it's gonna be ready for this pull off. So we're doing 9, pull to 7, okay? And then we're going back to 9, so that's why I never take that finger off, that first finger. So it's 9, pull to 7, 9, slide to 11 with the third finger. Okay, so far we've got. Now, we're here on the end of the slide. Our third finger's on the 11th fret of the D string. We're gonna go 9, 11, 9, okay? Back up to the 11th fret, where we just were. We're gonna play that note, slide back to 9, and then hit 7. All right, so from the G string, it's gonna be 9, 11, 9, 11, slide back to 9, 7. Okay, so that whole phrase is. Okay, one more time. Now, fortunately, all of the other phrases start exactly the same as that first phrase. So it's all going to start with that hammer, 7 hammer to 9. Okay, they all start with that, and then they start with this pull. So that's how this next phrase starts. It's the same thing. Except on this one, after we slide up to 11, we're going to come back to the 9th fret with our first finger and just play 9, 9 twice. Okay, that's all that second lick is. Nothing different or crazy. So we've got. Awesome. So let's go on to our third, which is probably the most difficult one. So once again, the third phrase starting the same, but we have a lot of 16th notes. And that's why this is tricky, because there's a lot of notes in a very short span of time. So we're starting off with that same lick. 7, hammer to 9, 7, 7, 9, pull to 7, back to 9, oops, slide to 11, okay? Now we're gonna come down to the D string like we've done before, sorry, the G string like we've done before, and we're gonna play 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 3 times, okay? So it's, okay, 9, 11, 3 times. This is where the second finger comes in. So the second finger is gonna come down to the B string at the 10th fret, and we're gonna pick that 10th fret. Okay, and then from there, we're gonna play backwards. We're gonna go 11, 9, 11, 9, okay? So we've got the 10th fret, pick, 11, 9, 11, 9. Now there's a little brief pause. There's like a 16th note pause, and then we switch back to 9, 11, 9, 11, 9. Whew, so let's just go through those 9 11s, okay? So this is the tricky part. It's kind of like a little bit of a turnaround, so it might turn you guys around literally. So just go slow. 9, 11, 9, 11, 9, 11, 10, 11, 9, 11, 9, pause, 9, 11, 9, 11, 9. And then to end that phrase, we come up to the 11th fret, we slide back to the 9th fret, we play the 7th fret, and then we end on the 9th fret on the A string. So let me play that whole thing through really slow for you guys again. You can play along with me, and again, if I'm going too fast, use that settings cog to slow things down. And just so you guys can hear what this sounds like up to full speed, if you want to practice along with me, let's go for it. Now, if you guys didn't notice, this song is a lot of fun to play. You can really work on a bunch of different strumming dynamics, and you even get a little bit of lead guitar playing. If you're one of those guitar players who feels like you're doing pretty good on the guitar, but you want to go from good to sounding great on the guitar, then I highly recommend my Expressive Rhythm Strumming course. This is a course where we're going to go over different types of percussive strumming elements. We'll go over boom chuck type patterns. Fun 16th note rhythms. Palm muting and accented rhythms. And so much more. With over 50 different types of strumming patterns, suggestions, and a full workbook, you're definitely going to take your guitar playing from absolute beginner to sounding great on the guitar. People ask me all the time, Lauren, why does your guitar sound so much better than mine? Well, I'm going to show you exactly why in my Expressive Rhythm Strumming course. I'll put a link in the description below. Go and check it out, especially if you're someone who's looking to take your guitar playing and your strumming to the next level. I hope to see you guys inside the course.